Hi there, Annie here at the Wellness Generals. Welcome back if you are returning, and if you're new, welcome. So, in this video, I will be giving an introduction to the channels or access points, um, access orientations to embodiment or connection to the body or somatics. So, somatics, a very oversimplified definition, could be mind body connection branch of Western therapy. Um, a much more accurate and all encompassing definition, um, I recommend reading The Pleasure Activist by Adrienne Marie Brown, the first chapter or two, or first introduction there. She has a beautiful description of what somatics is. And in this video, I'm going to just give a little summary and introduction to the different channels or access points to start to get to know, how do I relate to my own body? What are ways that I can use different access points to connect with myself? Because a lot of times with somatics, um, especially as it's being integrated now into traditional Western therapy, is often framed as like, or often oriented around sensations or emotions, and like, where do you feel that in your body? That's a very common question. um, and in a therapy setting, which is a pet peeve of mine around um, the oversimplification and also um, yeah, just lack of education around ableism too. Ableism. Yeah, just this issue. Um, so, um, and just to get a little bit of insight on that, if you are a somatic therapist, that that is a way that you might be orienting around this. I just keep coming back to using myself as an example um, to be a exemplify leadership around vulnerability and transparency and relationality. Um, I have chronic back pain. I have a transitional or extra vertebrae, or more accurately, an extra disc in my spine, and fractured my spine multiple places when I was a teenager, and I'm currently managing a slipped disc. And so it, my life will probably orient around this challenge. And so for me, while I can feel sensation throughout my whole body, um, I manage a lot of sensation of pain all day, every day. When you go to sleep, I can do so much yoga. I've formed my career out of this health practice, and I still have a lot of pain. So sensation is not necessarily the channel that I prefer to go to um, for myself. And so the framework that I'm going to be using for this video is specifically from Peter Levine, who is the creator of the somatic experiencing therapy modality. And I'm using therapy in like a loose way, by the way, in this video. So sensation is just one of many channels, and what I'm sharing in this video is just one framework, specifically from Peter Levine, specifically from somatic experiencing, and it's only one way of thinking about this. But it is a nice distilled version of these channels So I'll just get into it, and it'll help with the understanding, hopefully. Um, so, and I am referencing a PDF from 2015, an acronym SIMBA or SIBAM, SIBAM or SIMBA. Um, you know, refers to these 5 channels. So it's a great way to remember. Um, S is for sensation, right? That's what I was just talking about. Um, it could be physical sensations that arise in the body. Um, so it could be more or less conscious, um, right? So this could be like, oh, I'm noticing some tightness in my belly or some tension around my chest. I'm noticing some tension um, on my like upper back because I'm on, where I'm at in my cycle. And then, yeah, I'm noticing as I touch my back, this feels actually a really good stretch in my shoulder. That's a sensation. And it could be, um, I sense that, um, I sense that my legs are in front of me as I'm sitting on a chair, and I don't have to look down to notice that. That's called proprioception. I know, even though whether I'm looking or not, I know that my hands are here because I know where my body is in space without having to look at it. That's called proprioception, awareness of my own position in space. Um, you know, uh, and so sensation can show up in a number of ways. I just leaned forward a little bit, this sensation of moving up, of forward movement or slowing down backwards. Um, okay, moving on to I. Um, image. So sight, this is our sensations, um, how we're impressed upon by our sensations. Smell, hearing, taste, touch. Okay. Um, for me, the image, I think of visual, like I'm seeing this computer screen, I'm seeing a plant on my desk right here. But for me, when I'm processing things that are more nuanced, I can close my eyes and I can visualize something. That's something not everybody can do, but a lot of people can do it. They can like imagine something and see it, right? This is a creative mind. This is a very important muscle to exercise is our imagination. Um, and visualization is just one way that we can exercise our creative parts of ourselves. Okay, moving on. The B, behavior. So this could be a voluntary gesture, like this gesture I'm doing right now. Sometimes I talk with my hands or my arms. I have a lot of facial expression. This is a behavior, right? Um, I'm sitting down right now. I'm getting excited. Oh, I lean, relax back. Um, I just took a deep breath. So this could be that's voluntary. That's like a nervous system regulation piece. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing one of these educational videos and I'm like, just took this deep breath. And that's a behavior. Um, if we notice, oh, I'm breathing a little bit shallowly, um, that's also behavior, more conscious or unconscious. Um, pulse rate, um, you know, sometimes more visceral, like in our gut or something, some movement happening. Because if I take a deep breath and I signal my parasympathetic nervous system to turn on and my whole nervous system relax more, that might actually trigger immediately um, my digestive system to start activating. Um, because digestive system turns on when we're in a more relaxed state. right? So there's a lot of GI challenges in the United States, not only because of our diets, but because of just go, go, go stress. Um, P.S. Support your local regenerative farmer. Eat organic. If finances or accessibility are an issue, supplement it in when you can. Fresh foods. Um, it's also cheaper, really, in the long run. Um, to as far as money goes, there are cheap ways um, to have access. Um, yeah. I'm very privileged where I live in the Monterey Bay, where the organic food movement like started. I know it's not as easy in some places, but I know in more like middle America or urban areas, finding a community garden and participating in that and having like your own fresh fruits and vegetables. I swear to you, your life will be different if you do that one thing. Also, footnote of the footnote, the number one cause besides stressors from late capitalism of depression and anxiety is gut health and diet. Okay. We do need to eat well. We are what we eat. That is a true statement. Okay. That's to the side. Okay. Affect. Um, this is embodiment though too, right? What we're eating. Definitely practice embodiment with mindful eating and being thoughtful about where food's coming from, caring about our farmer. Um, money's an issue. If you can volunteer somewhere, find a community garden to participate in, trade. Once again, that creative part, forming networks. Community gardens are becoming a lot more popular, and I will talk about that more later. Affect is just another word for emotion or feeling. So sometimes we get really caught up in our emotions, right? Like, which is great. This is what brings fulfillment to our lives. We get to feel. And also sometimes it can be like really disturbing. Like, I'm always feeling sad. That's really sad. I'm always feeling joy. I'm realizing I'm kind of like having this toxic positivity thing. Um, like, I don't want to feel sad at all. Um, so sometimes to help simplify, if we're just like, this is challenging, it's like, okay, if I sit with this for a moment, okay, it's challenging. Now something's shifted. Is it better, worse, or the same? And not thinking about it more than that. Like, that's sometimes a nice way to like simplify things. Is this like feeling more challenging, less challenging, or the same? Um, am I attracted to this? Am I avoiding this? Does it feel good, bad, neutral? Um, just a very general way to orient around our emotions um, as a supportive mindset to help simplify sometimes, so we don't get, if we have a tendency to get super wrapped up in bigger emotions. Just one like piece of developing emotional intelligence, right, is like this tool. Okay, our last channel, meaning making or a belief system. So any sort of belief system. So if I'm forming like a positive meaning out of something, um, if I'm feeling like, okay, me making these videos, I want people to have free access to education. I believe that people should have access to helpful tools with their health for no money. This should be, maybe I can do this on YouTube. So I'm doing it. This is a belief I have that it brings me positivity, right? This brings me joy. It makes me feel liberated. I can do this. I can share this. What can I do? This is something I can do. So this helps me, and this is a belief system I have. So this is why I'm doing this. Just as an example of the belief or meaning making, right? And so I'm just to briefly go over this, and I'll close this video out. Sensation, image, behavior, affect, meaning. Sensation, feeling, image, visual, behavior, um, affect, emotion, feeling, and meaning, belief system. These are all 5 channels um, to to pay attention to around embodiment, access to being in your body, being in the present moment. Um, I'm sure there are others. Like I said, this is just one framework from Peter Levine and somatic experiencing. Um, and there are probably many others from different uh, walks of life. So I hope that you found this useful. One more little note on this. Like I use myself as an example at the beginning of this video, you do not have to have access to all 5 of these channels. Um, it does not mean you're broken. It does not mean you are ill. It does not mean you are not embodied or you don't have access to embodiment if you don't have access to all 5 of these channels. It simply means you're a person, and we're all different, right? So it is, what I will say is it's good to have access to a minimum of 2. That would be like the very bare minimum. And then the more channels we have access to, the more fulfillment we are likely to be able to have access to in our lives, because we can take one experience and we can talk about the belief and the sensation and the movement and how it, the visual, we can describe it, right? Um, so how it made me feel, these are all, this diversifies our experience in life. So that's why it's valuable to have access to minimum of 2, and ideally just as many as you can. But if you don't have access to all 5, that's totally fine. um, and and when we're practicing and educating ourselves around how to care for each other better, ourselves and each other, if we notice somebody just is really stuck on like one channel, like this belief system that like I'm not worthy or I'm not good enough, or they're always sad, there's depression, there's like this feeling that they're just really don't have access to like a diversity of feelings, or varied feelings, um, or maybe and this is showing up with folks who are differently abled and or on the spectrum, where like, and also other folks might orient around this different, around like neurodiversity or neuro queer, different identities around that if sensation is too much for any reason, it could also be from a specific experience in our life where like now that kind of sensation is just too much, or my eyes changed and now I relate to light differently. Sensitivities change over time for various reasons. So, for whatever reason, we all just deserve respect around our experiences, and knowing that if one channel is more accessible and others are less accessible, that there's absolutely no judgment or nothing right or wrong about that. Um, so thanks for tuning in. I hope you found this helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And much health to you.